Hi, this is Tiffany from iHeartArtBlog.com, and I want to show you how to make this Ombre Valentine Table Runner with crumpled flower coffee filters. To begin, we're using Eileen Hull's Sizzix Heart Box die, and we are only using the heart part. And it's a longer die, so you're going to want the extended cutting pads. So you have your cutting pad, then your die. And the reason why we're only using this die is because it cuts through a lot of material. So I have about 8 coffee filters, and I'm just going to lay them down flat. And then I'm going to take my cutting pad and lay it on top. And the reason why you don't want them to go up is because it might jam your machine. So sandwich your die and your coffee filters between 2 extended cutting pads. And then the Vagabond has this really cool button that pushes everything through. So I'm going to push my button, and you should end up with some beautifully clean cut hearts. So you're going to make about 10 to 13 stacks of coffee filter hearts, and I arranged anywhere from 6 to 13 layers. To sew your hearts together, you want to sew straight down the center to cut the heart in half, and you're going to have about 1 inch to 2 inches between each heart. So you just lift up your foot, and then you're going to stitch a straight stitch right down the center. And I go pretty slowly when I'm working with a lot of material. And then you're just going to pull it after you raise the foot and cut it. It's that easy. So now you can see my garland is all sewn up, and I have about 1 inch to 2 inches between each, and we are going to crumple the layers, almost like a worn book. So starting with the top layer, you're just going to crumple it towards the center, and you want to work each layer one at a time so that you can get really cool layered effect. You don't want to fold that last layer. We want to retain the hearts. So now we just unfold. And there you go. Once you've unfolded them, you can work on your other hearts. So to make our table runner, we're making crumpled paper sheets, about 8.5 by 11 sheets, and you're just going to take a wet rag or a wet sponge, and you want to moisten your paper a lot. So I just use this wet cloth, and I coat the back and the front in water. And you want it to be pretty pliable. So you're going to take it and crumple it. You're going to unfold, and then you're going to take it and crumple it again. Then you want to lay it flat to dry. Once it's dry, it'll look like this, save for that spot. And then you just take a distress ink, I'm using antique linen, and you just rub it across the surface. Like that. So you make about 7 or 8 sheets of this, and then we're going to sew the edges and connect each sheet together. So now we're going to sew our sheets together, and you want to work on one side and then the other side, since we're doing a straight stitch right down the center. To connect the pieces, I simply overlap the two slightly, so I lift up my foot, and then I gently add the other piece either on top or on the bottom, and I layer them about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch, and then I put my foot back down, and then I just sew right through. So you continue up your ombre color pattern from lightest to darkest or darkest to lightest, and just use a straight stitch, or you can get adventurous and use a different stitch. And now your stitched crumpled hearts lay right on top of the crumpled paper table runner. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out iHeartArtBlog.com.